here with Anu. Anu runs a PPC agency of sorts as a consultant right now, and she's currently working in the same place that I'm working at in Oxford Circus. It's a company called Essence, and they predominantly manage clients like Google, Nokia, Nando's, all the big names, basically.
Big names in that.
And I'd like to just start out by getting her to introduce herself and introduce what you do. So tell us what you do.
Sure. I've been in the digital industry for just over 10 years now. I started with working in search engine optimization, which is basically trying to get your website on the first page of Google, so that
it's always a tough one.
It's a tough one.
Always trying to do it.
Yeah, and that's trying to do it organically. And after about 6 months of doing it with a company, I was like, this is a little bit slow. And it was very sales pitchy back then. When I started, it was about calling site administrators and be like, hi,
webmasters.
Yeah, exactly, webmasters.
Bring that term back.
Let's bring it back.
I used to always call myself a webmaster.
Is it? That does sound a bit more like, I was doing it quite well, and because it was a lot of like link building in a very salesy kind of way, I didn't like that, and I'm someone that always liked data analysis and working in Microsoft Excel, especially. So I got an interview to do PPC, which is about driving clicks to your website, but not organically. You actually pay Google on an auction basis to show the top pages, and there are different qualities that Google take into consideration as to whether you show top pages or not. But if you have enough money and you meet some like basic quality checks, you can show on the top page straight away if someone searches for a product that is relevant to what your website sells. So I think that the interview, they were like, oh, do you like Microsoft Excel? I was like, do I? Like, literally, that was it.
You should have a t-shirt that says, like, I love Excel.
I really should.
And if they don't produce them, you should produce them.
I should produce
with
something.
Your logo.
I'm thinking of designs right now, like something like, that whole... whatchamacallit, keep calm, that kind of thing, keep calm and VLOOKUP. That's a popular Excel formula.
Is that t-shirt out there yet?
I don't think so, but
first.
If you heard it first, no one steal it.
Hopefully we'll
it's
be able
mine.
to produce the t-shirts before the video comes out.
Exactly, right? That would be cool. I've been doing PPC advertising because I love that with the data analysis you can see the immediate results of, click someone, your ad showing, someone clicking through your website, buying a product, tying that in with, all the relevancy of making sure that we are bidding on the right terms. We're not, doing any we're not having any wasted clicks, cutting all that. So we do all that analysis to make sure that, that path to purchase from search to the product is very efficient and very high in return on investment either.
Great.
Yeah.
So what would you say are your were the biggest challenges kind of getting set up as a business or as a contractor?
Setting up as a contractor at the beginning, it was just knowing who to contact, knowing how to go about it. Yeah. And I think that's one of the things that sets a lot of fear in people. Is like, oh my god, what am I going to do? Where's my source of income going to come from? How about if I have a 2-month contract, there's nothing after that. Those are real challenges for me. I have rent to pay, bills to pay. I'm a grown woman. I don't live with my mom and dad anymore. It's all on me. Nothing to fall back. I mean, my parents live in Nigeria. Because couldn't be just a whole
remote work from there. It's the same time zone as the UK. It's not too bad. I always tell people that it was very much like a swan. You're graceful up top. You're kicking like crazy.
Oh, kicking like crazy.
And it fits really well with MindSwan as your company name as well. But not that you are kicking like crazy underneath. But sometimes life can be a bit like that as a contractor or a company.
Yeah, it can be, definitely. I mean, at the beginning it was a lot of kicking like crazy. Now I just try to have a lot of faith, not panic too much when things are not working as fast as in my head I think we should be working. I'm just giving myself a break sometimes. I am one person. I'm one person. I can't get all things done. You see some companies who have grown so quick, so fast, they probably had a lot more people working together on that idea. So the smaller team that you are, you know, the slower things will go. And sometimes it's all about slow and steady. You know, as long as you're consistent and as long as you don't give up and you know why you're doing what you're doing, I say keep going. And that's what's kept me going.
Positivity, basically, isn't it? Okay, so what about the low moments? Now, you might not want to say any, but like, what are the kind of the hard, like really hard, like low moments of contracting or running a business?
Well, yeah, I wouldn't lie. There have been moments where a contract has ended and not one hasn't kind of lined up quite smoothly.
Yeah, that
right
back-to-back nature.
Yes, that back-to-back nature that we're used to. You know, always knowing what we're going to be doing the next Monday morning. There have been days of like I've had a lull, and there was actually a time, and this was something about having a leap of faith. Giving yourself a leap of faith, and because there was a role that had come through just before a contract was ending, but it was at a pay grade that was well below what I knew my level was, and I was thinking, oh, maybe I should take it, and I spoke to my dad, spoke to a few mentors, and they were like, and is that really what you're going to be doing? Is that really where you want your direction to be? And they were like, and I was like, I knew straight away no. There was answers no. I was like, maybe, but the money, I'm just checking, just double checking. And you know, it's one of those things where like, it was, I took the leap of faith to say, okay, no, I'm going to take that role as right here, still wait for the right thing to come along. And not too long after that, the right thing did come along. And, you know, it took about 4 weeks of me sitting around. In the grand scheme of things, that's nothing, but you know, when you're going through that day, there we go. You know how you feel. Yeah.
Those are like a swan every day. Like crazy.
Yes. And you're like, what can I do? What can I do about? Okay, at least let's work on MindSwan on the website, ideas, maybe blogs. But you're still thinking, oh, where's the income coming from? So, you know, that's been low moments, but I feel those kind of low moments really allow you to appreciate when you are in the role, when you are getting appreciated, and when you feel that, okay, things are moving in the right direction, and it then allows you to learn more about how to make sure that those low moments don't happen again, and making sure you know how soon to start setting up a backup option in case.
A better average of experience rather than highs and lows.
Exactly.
So. What about the, so we talked about the challenges and the low points, what about the successes? So where has MindSwan been and where is it going to go? That kind of thing. Yeah,
so we did hit our first client not too long ago, a few months ago. It was really nice. They did this online architectural firm called Resi. They were very close to where I live, so it was like a 5-minute journey into the offices. Very helpful.
Short distances.
Yes, definitely. And it was really good to like work with them. At that first client, write a blog about it, you know what they're doing, bring my experience, my past experience as to, you know, what I can bring to their services. They had a specific need of quality score, and it was something that I had experience in fixing, of tracking. I like working with this thing called AdWords scripts, and it's ways of like automating, you know, analysis and making sure you're on top of, you know, things that should be working moving in a certain direction. So that was like a big thing we need to work on. It was quite a successful story with them, and it really did help fix their quality score and really help improve their efficiencies and their costs.
Awesome. Sweet. All right, so if there's someone that's watching that hasn't started their business yet, or hasn't done the leap of faith and become a contractor in PPC or search engine optimization or the digital realm, what would you say are the first kind of few things, the tips that you would give for those people?
Plan it well, but don't sit back, so don't sit on your backside just planning for days and weeks and months. Like, you know, have the plan of when you're gonna start, you know, and give yourself that starting point. Even if you feel like everything isn't in place yet, you know, give yourself the deadline on when you plan on starting, when you plan on having that website live, when you plan on, you know, starting to get your content together, when you plan on starting to make those calls and sending those emails to people. You know, a lot of things you learn to perfect as you go along. You will not have it perfect the first time round.
Iterative process to anything, isn't there? So you get the basic level of website together, and then like, okay, in 2 months' time we'll add a case study. And in 3 months' time we'll add this and add to it.
Yeah, the first version of my website and what it is now. Oh God, I can't even think. I literally was absolutely awful. The progress is happening every time it changes. I just get excited, and that's a way of actually even building content, of telling people of like, oh, we've changed these. Check this out. Oh, we've changed this. Check this out. Let us know what you think.
This whole documentation thing, which is what I'm trying out, to kind of share the stories of the ups and downs and the successes as well of kicking it off. Great. Yeah. So planning would be step one. Yeah. What else would you throw in there?
Making sure that you put your network contacts together, because we can't do this on our own. As I said, even like the big successes, it was never a one-man band. You know, it's sure. I think a lot of people, which I get that. People, you can be precious about your idea, and you're like thinking, oh, I don't want this person to steal it, or I don't want this person like to run away with it. But
your t-shirt idea,
you know, a t-shirt idea, even, you know, no one take that one. You know, but you're gonna need people. Hands down, you're gonna need people. Like, look, me and Dan working together. We're hustling here together, and it's there's sometimes like there's one of my friend Enoch said that a very important thing is that sometimes it's even good to tell a lot of people, because when a lot of people like know it's your unique idea, no one else can copy it, because if they try to copy it, they're like, wait a minute, I've heard of that idea before. That person told me about it, so this can't be your original idea. So it actually makes it exactly shout it from YouTube. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know, sometimes if you got something you tell everybody, let them know it's you, so that no one else can steal it, kind of thing. So you know, get people at work, get ideas. Talk through different options, you know, of how to do certain things, and don't necessarily just keep it just close to heart. And sometimes even talking with people, they'll help you refine the idea. You know, you might have like a little seed of it, and talking to someone else can help you kind of build it into actually what will actually be something more marketable, you know, to
and you
your
mentioned
consumers.
You have mentors as well, so were they kind of integral into that shaping and collaboration of that?
Yes, 100%. I mean, some of my mentors have been natural, like, you know, family members. They're my driving force. Like, literally, they're my driving force of what I do. In my head, I just like, if I have my family behind me, I can do anything in this world. It's a beautiful feeling. Also had some like few managers along the way who have really just believed in me and just seen something that even I have totally not seen. Like, you know, they've gone, Anu, you can do this. And I'm like, really? Are you sure? They're like, yeah. And because I have such great respect of them, if they say I can do it, well, of course I must be able to do it. So that kind of thing. They won't lie to me, you know. So yeah, it's been, you know, people I've worked with, and it hasn't mattered the seniority. We're not even talking, you know, elderly people. We're talking even people who are younger than me, and just people like in different fields, that kind of thing. I just like pulling knowledge and from anywhere I can find it, you know, and I think that's important. Don't be scared about another person's knowledge who might seem a little bit intimidating.
It's about throwing the ego out the window.
Right? And
ultimately, all these people have probably done something similar already. So you're like, what did you do and how did you do it?
Yes, so how can you help me?
I've been asking lots of people about how they've hired their first employee, and then I've got and done it kind of thing.
There we go.
You always, the step ahead, start asking people those questions. Yeah. Cool. So let's say we fast forward 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Where will MindSwan be?
That's an interesting question. I mean, because I'd like... I want MindSwan to be something still quite personable. I don't necessarily... I don't want it to be one of those huge, large, global, conglomerate kind of company. I want...
the personal touch.
Yeah, I want there to be a brilliant personal touch to MindSwan. I want MindSwan to be the kind of company where I know as the person who started it, I still know everyone who's employed, and I've had a drink or coffee or something with them, so that when they're getting sent out or they're going to meet clients, I know you know, what I'm sending out. I know like what the message they're sending, that I know they're representing MindSwan properly, and I want the clients to feel that if they've met any one of them, they've met me as well, you know, and that kind of...
So the character of you will, and the personality will be applied to the company.
Definitely, because I've been told a lot, and I do agree with it. I've got a big character, you know, I've got a loud personality. I feel like I like attracting a certain kind of people, and I think it's important. I want to also be even known by the kind of clients I have, and the kind of clients. I don't want to just take anyone who can give me enough money, you know, to pay the bills. It's important the kind of people I'm going to be working with, the kind of clients that I want to work with, and you know, and I want us to be known for that. That MindSwan don't just take anyone. We are picky about our clients, and our clients trust us. They're not always fighting with us. It's not always a fight, you know. We work well together, and it's a two-way trust. And just even before pitching, being the kind of company that, you know, they know what they're about to get before we even enter the room. That kind of company,
I was listening to a podcast, and it was a guy called Stephen Bartlett. So he runs a company called Social Chain up in Manchester, and he was asking a friend, give me 3 words to describe Social Chain, and they would say these 3 words. Now the friend also ran a business, and then Steve was asked, can you give me 3 words for my business? And he was like, you do good design. And that was it. And that's the challenging thing. He found he would ask someone else, and that other person gave exactly the same 3 words for Social Chain. Sadly, I can't remember what they were, but it is fascinating how the company does need an identity, does need its stamp and its values, so then people identify you from the rest of them with those qualities. Cool. No. So finally, just to wrap it off, we'll bring in some of your expertise around pay-per-click. Tell me kind of some of the biggest myths around what makes a successful PPC, or some of the things that people do, like this makes it right, but it's like, no, it's not. It's actually this over here.
What the biggest thing that comes to mind is that people think that if we just throw money at it, it'll work. No, like
big budget sequels, big success.
No. There are times I've told clients, like, oh yeah, we have extra 20 grand, and I was like, well, I can't spend it. Like literally, I can't, because there's a level of diminishing return that happens with pay-per-click, that, you know, because it's all about, we're always trying to measure on a target, usually of like return on investment, or your cost per conversions or cost per lead that you're getting. And sometimes when you start just putting more money, you need to spend a certain amount of money. PPC is quite expensive on big companies that do it well amongst the mix of all their different marketing channels. It counts for about 50-60% of budget. But every once in a while there'll be times where if they're like, oh yeah, no, we want to make it 80% of budget. No, that might not work.
And then just flatten it.
Yeah, it's just gonna flatten out. You're just increasing your cost, and you're not getting much return for it. So that's a big myth, that, you know, let's just spend all the money and it'll happen. Another second myth that I definitely must mention is the fact that, you know, PPC does not work as a silo, and it doesn't create demand. You need all the different channels as well, and that's why I say that it needs to work as about 50-60% of the marketing budget, because you need to be doing other stuff that has created the demand, you know. And that's why, you know, we need to work well with like the big TV campaigns, big outdoor campaigns, because once the people know that, oh, I can get that, they're now going to go to Google and then search for it.
It's that awareness kind of item, which is across social or print or whatever you do, or TV, for them then to get searching on those keywords that you're targeting.
Exactly. I've seen some really good campaigns where in those outdoor campaigns, they've gone search for this, and so they make sure that brand definitely then make sure they're bidding high and PPC of it, and that's I'm sure there's amazing cost efficiencies that's happening there, because they've already told the people what they should even search for to use. So that
was is important.
Definitely.
Cool. So just as we wrap off, do you want to tell everyone where you are on the internet?
Where I'm on the internet, I'm on mindswan.com. You know, check my website. I'm on all the social media, MindSwan PPC. So that's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. follow me. I'm always like trying to give tips. Like right now, I'm just trying to be a thought leader, you know, so that people know that I know my stuff. So, you know, so check out those means of, contacting me. And if you're interested in what I've got to say and you'd like to do a one-on-one, check me out on send me an email on hello@mindswan.com.
Sweet. So until next time, keep shining bright like a Ryland.
Hey,
you should have a tagline.
I should.
Like,
not
keep
yet.
Swanning.
Keep swanning. Keep swanning. I check my swan.
Keep swanning.